Buongiorno, it's I, your best friend. Because I've got an amazing sponsor for 6 months, I believe, I'm going to be doing extra content on YouTube. And also because I've got questions. Listen, I've got questions on questions on questions on questions on questions on questions. And I want to answer these questions. I want your questions to be answered. So in a more casual format, I will be talking to you. My daughter's over there playing with an octopus. And if she wants to join, she will join. How do you cope with two littles all day on your own? My partner is a doctor, so long hours sometimes, and wow, some days feel overwhelming. Girl, number one, I am a machine. Number two, I'm tough. What do they say? What's the word? It's tough, but I'm tougher. Yeah, that's the word. But in reality, it's a combination of things. Would I like my partner to be around more? Yes. He's got a very busy schedule and 2 jobs. I also have 2 jobs, which is motherhood and my business. We both, I guess, have the same values of building our lives together and building ourselves up together and creating this thing together. So I understand what we're doing. It's like a mission. I think I'm very goal-driven and forward-focused. I know what we are working towards at the moment. And the fact that he's not around often is difficult but not impossible, and I'm motivated by a future goal. How do I deal with it on a practical everyday level? Well, mentally I deal with it thusly. I understand that everything is a transient period. I understand that right now, I will never be as needed as I am right now. As a human being, I will never be as needed by my children, in my business. Everything right now is flowering and thriving and becoming what it is. I need to be here, I need to be there, I need to be everywhere. Everybody wants me right now. In my 20s, there was like a friendship period, a lost period. Not that I was lost, but there was a friendship period where I had time for friends and time for activities and time for random things. And I see that with people in their 20s when I talk to them, and I have some friends in their 20s and they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, yes, enjoy the period. Why are you trying to lock yourself down into almost what it is to be in your 30s? Not that every age has a way you act, but why are you trying to lock yourself down straight away? Right now, my life is chaotic. Like, I've got wet wipes here and there and toys and whatever, and I am in this like big thriving period. And I think when things are hard, and they will be hard in different times, when you're a teenager, you're confused, you've got acne, you don't know why people don't like you, and that really matters. And then you're in your 20s and you're trying to grow into who you are. And now there's this period of overwhelming need from people, children, overwhelming attention needs, and just being overtouched and overstimulated in all kinds of ways, like everyone. But soon I might not even be needed. Soon I'm going to be calling my children and they'll be like, Mum, leave me alone. Not that they'll talk to me like that, hopefully, but they'll be like, listen, we're doing our own thing, can you give us space? And I'll be like, oh, I'm so lonely making these videos. And people will be like, how do you handle loneliness when you're an empty nester? So knowing that every period has its trials and every period has its times and its phases and its spaces, you fully have to embrace and go through it, not around it, not try and avoid it, but fully through it in order to, what she said, in order to embrace that time. I think a lot of times it's very healing for women to talk through things, especially if you are female, like I said, for women. And for me, that is friends, if you have them. But if you don't, it's someone like a therapist. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. I'm really grateful to you because it means I can bring you guys more content and also share this piece of advice with you. If you need to make a decision, if you're not sure if someone's for you, if you're not sure a guy is treating you right, it's really important to speak to somebody else. And if you don't have somebody in your life, you can be linked to a professional on BetterHelp in the comfort of your home. You can converse with them on the phone. You can have that connection and conversation and make a decision. A lot of times in life, a decision can be made just through talking it through. And that is what BetterHelp is very useful for, and it's a very good therapy system in general. It usually connects you with a therapist within 48 hours, and if you don't like that person, or for whatever reason, you don't vibe, you don't gel, whatever it is, you can swap, which I love. It's from your home. You can swap them out easily. It's very seamless and very streamlined. So I really enjoy this service. For 10% off, visit www.betterhelp, that's BETTER help.com/margarita. Go in my description box and you can enjoy a discount for your first month. Let's get back to the video. How to forgive yourself after toxic relationships and decisions and all that weird stuff. The way you forgive yourself after wrong decisions, toxic periods, is one of several ways, and I go into it in my book. Actually, it's an important part of the book. I've got a new book called The New Rules. Pre-order it in the description box below. Honestly, I am proud of it. It's a chunky thing. It's a lot of things I haven't talked about. It's a lot of my backstory, and it's a lot of how to optimize your life. Anyway, it's got a really cool cover as well. I like it. Let me know what you think. Go in the description box. But number one is forgiveness, in understanding that you were once a child, you were once a little baby, you were once somebody who just came into this world for the first time and didn't know what you were doing. Like my baby over there, wrestling an octopus, like no idea what she's doing. Exactly, babe. No idea what she's doing, and you were once that. Nobody gave you a manual. You might have not been raised in the right way. Who are you to judge yourself, this little human being who's trying their best in the world? Who are you to judge yourself and say that you're bad in some sort of way to make the choices you have made? The second part of forgiveness and moving forward is to know that, hey, from today, you're watching this on a Wednesday, you're watching this on a Thursday or Friday, from today, you're going to make new decisions. You are a new person now. You are a new entity, and you are going to act in different ways. I once read this thing about with women, when they have a child, their sins are forgiven, or something like, I don't know, in some kind of spiritual literature, that their sins are forgiven and they become a new person. You don't need to have a child to do that. No, but you need to have some kind of ritual to yourself that from today you're going to be different. I don't know what that ritual is. I don't know if you're religious or whatever. Go to church, bathe in some water, have a bath, have a shower, wash it off, shake it off, do a dance, Taylor Swift, whatever. Understand that you're only human and you made mistakes, and now decide how you're going to conduct yourself in a different way. Make goals, make plans, and move forward accordingly. Why, guys? Why? These kind of complicated questions that are going to be pivotal and life-changing. Can a relationship work after infidelity? Is once a cheater, always a cheater? Let's get the daughter. You know, I had this thought about cheating and is once a cheater, always a cheater. And the reality is, my child, is that maybe once a cheater to you, he might always be a cheater to you, because you set the standards to people. You set the standards, don't you? You set the standards to people of how they treat you. You set the standards for that person of how... I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell them, okay? You set the standards. You want to distract people with your little face? There you go. Guys, how about that distraction, huh? In the corner. How about that? It's very hard to change how somebody treats you within you already having an algorithm that you've set. That is why I always tell women that when you meet a guy, and you set how he treats you, it's really got to start from the start. For example, when you sleep with him, you're really going to solidify how that treatment is going to be going from the time you sleep with him. Like, for example, if all he's had to do is take you out for a coffee and then you've slept with him, he's not going to do more things for you in the future, because he's going to be like, well, I've worked out the algorithm of all I've got to do for her. You've got that time to negotiate your worth or your value before you become intimate with him, because it's not that your intimacy is like a selling point, but the point is that we as women get attached after we're intimate, okay? It's how our hormones work. I don't care what you say, it's how our hormones work. And after we get attached, you're taking this very seriously. I'm glad. After your hormones get attached and you get attached, it's very hard for you to put your boundaries, to guide that person into how you want to be treated. And you do this kind of like running around going, no, you got to treat me right. I can't believe you treated me this way. It's not right. I'm valuable. And he's not budging, because he's not got a pain point, and that's what it is. So once he's in this paradigm of cheating and infidelity, and you've forgiven him, my friend, it's going to be very hard to set a new way for you guys to conduct your relationship. However, if you really truly perceive that the reasons that there was infidelity in your relationship is you two definitely grew apart, there was chasms in which you guys had no connection, if you had no connection, chasms of no connection, then, and you're partly part of the problem and you can shift, then it can be a rebirth. It can be a new time for your relationship, and you need to be honest with that and to say, how did we go wrong? But once a cheater is not always a cheater. But once he's cheated on you, he could revert to that again. How old were you when you got married? And also when you had your child? How old was I? When I got married, I was 25 years old. And when I had my children, I was 31 and 34 when I had my children. And the reason it took so long, you might think, from getting married to having children, is because I got married without even kind of planning to get married, as in like he asked me and I said yes, but it wasn't in my like immediate plan. And then we wanted to travel and do stuff and have fun and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I would recommend, if you want to have children, have them in your 20s, late 20s. It's like a good time. I am tired getting up in the night, I'm not gonna lie, but not for you. You are a magical, miraculous miracle that is worth every second. How to feel good when dating multiple men, especially when one finds out. This question is interesting because I only recommend you date several people before you're intimate with any of them. Whatever intimacy means to you, like holding hands, kissing, whatever, you're only supposed to date several people to see what people are proposing to you. That strategy only works in terms of a woman getting super attached to random men who don't have anything to offer you. Women often get attached to random men who have nothing to offer you because we imagine that they're our future husbands. He is not your future husband. But if you're investing all your time, worth, energy, effort, everything into this man who doesn't want to offer you anything and isn't even interested in you, then a lot of times you will find that you overinvest in someone who isn't even interested in you. So what you do is you date several people and it brings out better traits in you as a woman. By date, I just mean see and speak to. I don't mean do anything intimate with. Then that is how you feel good about it, because they are courting you, they are wooing you. And then if they do behaviors that you don't like for example, this one hates animals and he never even buys you a coffee, you can compare that to somebody else you have spoken to who loves animals and pays every time you go out, and you can see with clarity that this man is more the man that I want to be with, as opposed to being with man number one and trying to change him. Why don't you love animals, Frank? Why can't you even buy me a coffee? Because that's the trap that we get into, don't we, as women? We're often like trying to change this guy who's not even for us. We're trying to perform for this guy who's not even for us, trying to be better, trying to change, trying to shift, trying to maneuver ourselves into this guy's life who isn't even for us, when he's just not for you. That's why I said it. But if they find out, what are they going to find out? You went out and had a coffee with somebody, and you'd be like, yes. And he'll be like, but you had coffee with me. And you'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you saying that you want to be more with me than friends? Do you want to be more than friends? Is that what you're saying? I'm so sorry. I thought we were just seeing each other until... But yeah, I'd love to have that conversation. If that's what you're saying, then I won't see anyone. But who are you asking as? Who are you? Who are you? I keep finding men that seem high value, but they aren't in alignment or ready for a relationship with you. I am so sorry to say that in a harsh way, or maybe you're not going to like what I just said, but with you. They're not ready for a relationship with you. Because when a man is ready for a relationship with you, he gets ready. Sometimes it's a short answer, isn't it? Been with a guy for almost 15 months. We're in our 40s, wondering, where is the ring? Let's remove the age from that. If you remove the age and you acknowledge the fact that when a man isn't proposing to you and isn't giving you a ring and sitting on your time, let's remove the 40s part. He is wasting, for you, your age of fertility and time when you can choose men much easier. Because if you're in your 20s and 30s and you want to have children, and as that time ticks, he's sitting wasting your time. And you're all conditioned to be like, I don't want to pressure him. I don't want to pressure him. I don't want him to feel like pressured by me. Pressured for what? Pressured to have a wonderful, beautiful relationship with a woman who's amazing. Pressured for what? Why are you acting like you're a piece of garbage trash raccoon on the side of the street and you're asking him to pick it up and do something meaningful with it? Why do women act like marrying you is the worst thing that can happen ever in the whole world? It is not the worst thing that could happen. You are a wonderful human being, first of all, but also an asset and an amazing person to travel through life with, hopefully. I hope you feel that way about yourself, and if you don't, then you need to work on yourself. And if you are saying that you want to get married and you want the ring from somebody, it's a wonderful thing. So you need to reframe that. Stop thinking about it like it's an awful thing. And understand that if you're going to let him sleep on you and waste your time, it's going to be at a deficit to you. They don't let you test drive the Porsche for 2 years. Do you want it or not? They don't pursue you with emails. They don't harass you. They don't even ask. You just need to say what your value is. Now, let's put the age back into that. I suppose the fact that you're 40, you might not want children anymore. Maybe you've had them before. Or maybe you still do. If you still do, then that man needs to be like, right now. It needs to be happening right now. It needs to be happening like minus 27 seconds. I don't even know what that means, but you know, it needs to have happened. So that is even more. But if you don't want that, you need to still communicate to him your standard. Without telling him what to do, you need to communicate your own standard, my friend. You need to say to him, I want to be married. That's how I want to spend the rest of my life. It's really important to me. And if it's not important to you, that's totally fine. I think you're amazing. It would be great if it was you, but if it's not, I'm more than happy to move on and we can be friends. You're not going to be friends, but we can be friends, because you need to create the atmosphere for that person to understand that they can come with the truth towards you. In order to find out the truth from somebody, the key is they need to feel that you're not going to attack them for the truth. One time, one of my ex-boyfriends was cheating on me. I know, it's shocking. How could they cheat on mommy? How could they cheat on mommy? Okay, so in order for him to be honest about when he's going to be opening up to you about the ring and what is happening, a lot of women make men feel like, I know it's a weird thing to say, but that it's going to be some kind of really difficult conversation, and people want to avoid difficult conversations and arguments, and he wants to be with you as long as he can without having to either have a fight or to lose you. Basically, he wants to waste your time without having to pay for that time in, you know, marrying you. So you need to make him feel like I did with my ex, and I told him the story I was about to tell you guys before my daughter needed to go to bed. You need to make him feel like it's going to be okay, and it's a bit manipulative, it's a bit dark, it's a bit whatever, but it is what it is. We need to get to the point, otherwise men will waste our time. So I told him, listen, when he was cheating on me, your friend, I had no idea he was, by the way, like no facts, I just sensed it with my female intuition. I said, your friend told me that something happened with you and someone else. You can tell me, and we can talk about it, and, you know, move on. But if you don't tell me right now, I will know that you're a liar, and I don't want to be with you. I full expected him to go, nothing happened with anybody, what are you talking about? And then we would be happily ever after. But he turns around to me, goes, yeah, it did. I slept with this, and, you know, I didn't even expect the sleeping with. So I was like, wait a minute. And I was out of there. But you need to make someone feel confident in order to tell you what it is they want to do. So when you're asking about this ring, be like, listen, you know, it's something I want. It's something I really want in my life. And if you're not ready for that, that's fine. You know, we can call it quits for a while. Maybe we'll get back together later. Maybe we'll see how it goes. But it's just something I need to know. When he's like, yeah, I'm not sure, bounce. It's done. We move. Because you just need to know that information. Otherwise, he will sit and he will waste your time. And time is money. Oh my God, like, are you not scared of the fact that you have this one life? This one beautiful life, and you're going to spend it with someone who's not sure about you? Jesus, Lord, help me. He's not sure about you. You know that feeling like when you look at someone and you just think they're the coolest person, like they're the best thing ever. They are just incredible. This human being is incredible. Like, they don't see you like that. But yet there's someone out there who will see you like that. Yeah. Just find out and move on. Because if he's not giving you the ring, it's either because you haven't communicated that's what you want, and when you do, he will do that for you. Maybe it's just not something he's thinking of. I understand. Men don't always think about it that way, but if you communicate, this is for me what it is, and I need that. But if in a certain time you're not ready, then, you know, maybe we can be in a more casual relationship, and then you bounce. Yeah, or he's just, you're not the one, you know, and that's just a sad way to spend your life, not being the one for someone. Being like second best for someone. We don't want that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.